everyone, Gigi here, and this week Judy from Judinka Nail Art has chosen the theme for the YouTuber's nail art stamping collab for this week, and it is Out of Space. So I'm going to be recreating this on this hand. I don't show you how I polish my nails because this is a stamping collab, but I will show you what I used. I used the Peel Off Base Coat as my base. I used the, let's see, it's called Onyx, the LA Colors Color Last, and I just put one coat on. I like this because my nail bed is wide and the brush on this is wide, so that helps a lot for me. I also used as a topper this Sally Hansen Extreme Disco Ball. It's a really pretty topper. You can see it shining in here. And for stamping, let me just drop my plate. For stamping, I used the Born Pretty Silver, and I used the Bundle Monster Astronomical. So I guess that kind of fits into everything, doesn't it? And I also used Queen White, and I used this JLB Lola for in here. I added just a little bit of pink in here. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to go off and, and I also use Seche Vide on the top. I'll show you the stamping plates when we get to it, but I'm going to go off and open up my bottles and I will be right back. All right, so before we get into this, what I want to do is I want to add a little bit of pink and white to this nail right here. That's just for the nebulous, so I'm going to just drop a little bit of polish down here. I don't need very much, and a little bit of white. Just going to put it right there. I'm going to take my, well, goodness me, oh, there it is. I lose everything. I'm going to just take my tweezers and pull off a small amount of my sponge. And then I'm going to dab it. I think I'll dab it in the pink first. Just a little bit, just enough to get some on there. And then I'm just going to dab that across here. Now I think the other one is a little bit more pink, but I think this will be fine. I'm going to use that same sponge because it doesn't really matter, and just add a little bit of white to that. Not too much, but just a little. Okay, and I'm going to set that aside. Let me get a little bit closer here. So you can see there's a little bit of pink there. Not a lot, just a little. Just to give it, I put a little bit too much on this one, but I think we're going to be good there. All right, so let's start with my thumb. I'll be using the Bundle Monster Kelly Marissa BM XL213 plate. I'll use a couple of images off of that, and I will be using, oops, can't even pick that up off of there. I will be using 1 or 2 images off of this Nicole Diary ND009 plate. All right, set that aside. And get my little guy here. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do my thumb. I'm going to use these stars on my thumb. So we're just going to put that polish on there and pick this up and scrape it. Oh my goodness, what did I do with my, oh, there it is. Oh, think you're prepared and then you're not. Okay, and that picked up just fine. So I'm going to put this on my thumb. Not even in frame. Okay, just have a little bit of stars on there. Hard to see. I always forget to clean off my stamper head, but not this time. At least not for that stamp anyway, right? All right, so let's clean that up. On that same thumb, I'm going to use this image and this image. and I'm going to stamp that in white. Okay, scrape. Usually only scrape once, but sometimes I can get away with twice. Okay, and so that turned out nice. And I'm going to put that right in here, and I'm going to stamp them at the same time. Okay, just like that. Okay, next I think we will just do my pointer. Again, we're going to use white, and I'm going to use these stars up here in this corner. So I want to turn this around this way so you can see it. Add my polish, scrape, and I usually scrape on a, I'm not sure how that one's going to pick up. I usually scrape on a 45-degree angle. Oh, too much. Too much. Clean that off and try it again. This time I think I will scrape from a different angle and maybe not use quite so much polish. I think that might be a better pickup. And that turned out just fine. I'll turn it this way. I'm just going to stamp that right on here. And I have a curvy finger, so I'll have to roll it off the side. And that turned out nice. Excuse me. It's been warm here today, but it actually ended up this afternoon. It ended up being very nice. So, let's see. We're going to do this nebulous here. And I'm going to do that in the blue for the Bundle Monster. The astronomical. Let's try to get a good scrape and pick up, and it turned out pretty nice. So for this, I'm going to put that right in here. I'm not sure, there we go, it did show up. I wasn't sure if the white and pink that I had put on there would actually show, but it does. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing that I did with my thumb here on that finger. So let's, there it is, and I didn't clean it up yet. I'll tell you, these cotton claws come in really handy because I cannot tell you how many manicures I've ruined by picking up a cotton ball and just having it be a mess. Alright. So, let me see. Yeah, I use the same one. Just going to add a little bit of polish there. Hopefully I did not wait too long. Scraped looked pretty good. Let's see what the pickup is. And the pickup is nice. So, I want this, I'm going to do it just, well, let me lay it down this way. It's a lot easier. I'm just going to lay it right on here. And that turned out pretty nice. Let's see. When I was trying to decide to do this, I had no idea what I was going to do. Absolutely no idea. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to use the planets down here. And you put something down and you think you've found it, and you know, you put it, try to keep it in the same spot, but I'm telling you, I don't know if I'm forgetful or what. All of a sudden I can't find what I laid down. So, happens to me all the time. See if that pickup was okay. I have a little bit of nasty over here, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put that on my pinky and avoid that spot. So again, I'll just put my hands down, and that way that won't even show up on my nail. I don't take the time to clean it up because I just don't see the need in it. especially if it's not going to show up on my hand. Okay, so I'm going to actually scrape this a different way this time to try to avoid that. Okay. And sometimes it's the way you hold your scraper. There, we avoided it that time. Pickup was nice. I'm going to put that right on this finger. There. And that one's on. The last thing I have to do with this, I've got two, I'm going to go over to the other plate, the Nicole Diary plate. And I'm going to put, let's see, which spaceship did I use? I believe I used the spaceship down here. So we're going to use that spaceship. And stamp that on. Pickup is fine. I do want to remove a little bit of this though. And I'm going to put that on this finger. And I have it going opposite way, so that's what we're going to do. Okay, and that is on. Then I believe the dipper is, whoop, go back to this other plate. Go back to my Bundle Monster plate, and I'm going to use this image right here. Let's see if I can't just get that. And there we go. And I'm going to put that on my pinky. I keep wanting to be able for you to be able to see it, but if I put it too close, you're not going to be able to see it at all. And hopefully I did not wait too long. Nope, picked up just fine. Right? So that is my interpretation of out of space. And I'll just use my tape to get most of this off, or as much as I can before I actually use my cleanup brush. I was watching, I think it was Oh My Gosh Polish, and she had a brush that I thought was just beautiful. So I bought it, and I really like it. It's just big enough for me. I do have an e.l.f. brush that I use sometimes, but this brush has, well, I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you in just a moment. I can get that off of there. It doesn't want to come. Okay. So most of that is cleaned up. Let me get this out of the way, as far out of the way as I can get it. And I liked this brush. This is a Sonia Kushak brush. I really like it. I like the fact that it has this indentation right here. So when you're holding it, whether it's in your right hand or your left hand, it doesn't really matter. It just feels nice. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and finish cleaning up here, and then I will be back with photos. If you came to my channel from the other ladies' channels, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I will have the links to their channels down below, excuse me, in the description box, so you can go over and take a look and see what their interpretations are. There, not too bad cleanup. Pretty easy. This brush, I've just got to say, it's a very nice brush. Now, it was $10, and I don't know how long it's going to last. I believe she said hers lasted, I don't know, I think she said she's had it for a couple of years maybe, and it lasted very well. So, this is my interpretation of Out of Space. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, be kind.